Major funding for this program provided by the Moving Image Trust Fund. Additional funding for this program provided by the Arkansas Agriculture Department.
Hello, I'm Tony Brooks, and this is Agri Arkansas. Today, a slightly different road to life on the farm and organic farming in an urban setting. Our guests, Terrell Spencer of Across the Creek Farm and Chris Hariak of Little Rock Urban Farming. Terrell Spencer, or Spence as most people call him, runs a chicken, goat, and pig operation in West Fork. His road to life on the farm took him through wartime Iraq. Take a look.
It's a 6th, right, or 7th? Today's 7th. Yeah. So you said 300 yesterday? 360. 360. It's the 7th already? Yep. It's very important this time of year we all stop and remember Kurt Cobain. Okay. Done. It takes more than that, Spence. No. More like a day of mourning. A day of mourning. David never really got out of the grunge phase. As you can tell by his outfit, man. Yeah, I know, huh? Smells like something, but it's not Teen Spirit out here. What's your story? Yeah. So my name is Spence, and I'm the owner of Across the Creek Farm. We do the best chicken in Northwest Arkansas and all of Arkansas. And that's not just us talking, that's some of the good chefs. And, but yeah, we raise everything out on pasture, do a feed grown in Arkansas. It's non-GMO, test for 91 pesticides, all that jazz. So kind of hits a little bit more of the a different consumer than a lot of chicken that's grown in Arkansas.
Beautiful thing about it is, they told a guy he couldn't build a chicken farm on the side of a mountain, and he does. And I've been on a lot of chicken farms, and I've seen a lot of things, and I've been cooking for a long time. And what he's able to accomplish with those birds, it's just a beautiful thing.
Spence and I met several years ago when I started to work with the Hive at 21C. I was lucky enough to have a really engaging farm visit with Spence. Checked out his chicken farming operation, goat farming operation, and pig farming operation, and just really had a great conversation with him. Not to mention loving his chickens. Spence's chickens, to me, are very unique as it's an all Arkansas bird. So chicks are raised in Arkansas. All the non-GMO feed is produced in Arkansas. He farms and processes in Arkansas. So us being the end user, the end, the end of that cycle here in Arkansas has been a special thing to be a part of.
I got interested in farming in 2004. Before that, never really down with farming. Carla's family historically has farmed rice and soybean out in East Arkansas. In fact, she was the Miss Cross County Rice Queen. And she took her earrings off. She had her rice earrings. Oh, you knew. Okay. So anyways, dang it, I thought I had you with the earrings. You saw them in there today. But she's like super brainiac, and I went in the Army, I was in the military. We actually got married, because I chased her for years before, close to a decade?
7.
7 years, or 7 decades. Sometimes it felt like 7 decades, but it was 7 years. But totally worth it, let me preface with that. But we, after multiple engagements and that, I went in the Army to kind of figure out what to do, and then, she told me she loved me on a satellite phone call right on the Iraq border, which just made me mad, because I was like, now I've got to get through a year of Iraq. And I'm like, really? There's burnout T-55 tanks over there at this forward operating base, and everybody got 2 minutes on the satellite phone. And my grandparents were the only family I had, and they didn't answer, and so she's the only other number I could remember. So I called her and was like, hey, it's a good run, and that, glad I did. And she's like, I love you, and I was so angry. I'm like, ready to eat? Yeah, throw it on down.
We've used Spence since we've opened, which has been, we're getting close to 4 years, I believe, so long time. Spence provides us with our whole birds, our chicken sausage, and any other chicken product that I might need. Spence is a wonderful person. He's very reliable, and not even just as our farmer, but as a friend. Spence is just a great guy.
There's so many funny stories. Anyway, sorry. So burnout tank, we got married on leave, and then we started farming.
So I think like where you need to go is not so much that, but talk about how you saw. No, not about the rice. That is not part of this story.
Definitely go. Oh, we're getting you a picture. Yeah. I can give you your brother's number, and he will get you a picture.
Oh my gosh. How, whenever you were in Iraq, how, like what you saw there and how that inspired you, because he was a history major whenever we met in college in South Arkansas, and that inspired you to change your degrees, right? So, but he was not a history major whenever he finished his degree. He ended up in environmental soil and water science, and so, I mean, I think that's the more interesting story, and about how that inspired you to kind of like go, and whenever you came back. So whenever you came back, he needed some quiet time, and he built this huge garden in our backyard and started selling greens and vegetables to a wholesaler locally, and how it grew from there. And then we started looking for property, and well, you've seen our property. Not very good for vegetables if you have bedrock. So then we ended up with chickens and goats and pigs, and it's just evolved over time.
Yeah. I've told you this before, that story, but just seeing, just outside of a base, we were on a patrol and just saw an Iraqi family work in the fields, a farm family. It was just this little thing, this pocket of peace and all that chaos and war and destruction and IEDs and rocket attacks and that. So I just remember that. And I think that's one of the things that I like about farming, and it mirrors up well with the war, is like, you don't go through all that. You don't go through Iraq and just, at times feeling like you cheated death because someone else got, other convoys got hit or whatever, and some close calls and that. And then it's just like, I mean, it's hard for me to forget about the temporalness of what, like, we're not here very long. We're not permanent. That's one of the things I like about the seasonality of farming, like the progression of the grasses, the cool, the summer. Even there's a cycle of life and death with the birds, like, I don't know, it's very human. I feel like it just keeps me grounded. And, and even like, I was kind of thinking about it last night, knowing we'd talk, and essentially like, your life is kind of like a song, and my song is made up of like every instrument's like my marriage and being a father to my kids and farming chickens and building up soil and restoring land and taking pigs. Like everything I do is an instrument, and at the end of it, when I pass, it's like I just want that to be real beautiful to God, and so, and just there's I watched someone die a couple times in Iraq, and there's just this part of that is that song for them too, but they never got to, that was cut, theirs was cut short. So there's a lot behind some chicken. So, but anyways, so that's why we do what we do, and when you look at it that way, we have to be profitable, we have to run a business, but it allows you to run a business in a different way, and we'll never be corporate. Like sometimes people have seen the growth of the farm and they joke like you'll be the next Tyson and that. It's like, no, I'll just be a chicken farmer and I'm happy with that. I have an awesome life, I've got great kids, an awesome community that helped me heal after the war in my church. It's literally called the community, like the family that we have here with the restaurants and the chefs, and you've seen some of those interactions and in Fayetteville, and this is where, after the war, I didn't have a good experience with the government, the VA, and they didn't take care of me, but this place did. These haulers around Fayetteville did, and there's just a lot of life here, and this is where we'll be till we die. So.
That's good.
Shoppers frequenting the shops and malls in Midtown Little Rock are probably not aware of the farm operating just a couple of blocks away. Little Rock Urban Farming is a community-based food enterprise that specializes in the production of organic fruits, vegetables, herbs, and cut flowers for local markets.
If I could do anything I wanted to do, I would be a farmer. So both of my parents came from small towns in the Arkansas Delta, and through them and through grandparents, every story seemed to start with this recollection of being on a farm. Where did all the small farms go? I heard all these amazing stories about how the food was always fresh. And granted, not everyone remembered small-scale farms as being something really romantic, something to long for. In fact, many of them, there's a joke in our family that many of my family members spent their entire lives trying to get away from the family farm, and now I'm spending my life trying to create a family farm.
So there's some growlers over on the left that are some homebrew, and
Oh,
there's
nice.
some beers in the fridge as well.
A few months after I had graduated from the Downing Scholars Program at UALR, I interviewed with quite a few different companies, and really different companies. I interviewed with a small business consulting firm, an insurance firm, sales positions. A few different companies offered me jobs. I did choose one, and within just a few months of being in that sales role, I walked into my boss's office and just told him the truth and said, man, my heart is not in this. I'm really passionate about growing things, and I'm gonna go and learn more about that. So we are at the Little Rock Urban Farming G Street Farm. We are in the heart of Midtown Little Rock, just a few blocks from Catholic High School, Park Plaza Mall. So we are in the middle of it. So Little Rock Urban Farming is a community-based food enterprise. We grow fruits, vegetables, herbs organically. We're a certified, USDA certified organic farm. And we sell to local markets. So we sell to local restaurants. We go to the Hillcrest Farmers Market every Saturday. And we also sell to the natural grocers in West Little Rock.
Chris's urban farm had a product that we really enjoyed. Our chef visited him and found that Chris took a lot of care and love. You could feel the TLC in the product that he grows and supplied, and just from the taste and the detail he puts into growing and washing and supplying into our restaurant, that was kind of a natural match.
He was one of our biggest, strongest supporters of what we do from the very beginning. Currently, we use all of our salad greens from him. It's a really nice blend of arugula and lettuce. We also get beautiful shiitake mushrooms when they're available. Every 1 or 2 weeks, especially this time of year, we get a wonderful delivery of flowers. He does amazing tulips that, you know, just bring really beautiful colors into our shop.
Here at the Root Cafe, our mission is building community through local food. We try to buy from as many different local producers as we possibly can. One of those is Little Rock Urban Farming. They always have beautiful, top quality produce, certified organic. We get spring mix from them every week, and then we also collaborate with them on some canning and food preservation workshops. They have a absolutely beautiful kitchen where we do these workshops, and it feels like you're in an old farmstead, you know, out in rural Arkansas somewhere, but you're actually just off University, right, in you know, Midtown Little Rock.
Well, I am the farm manager, so I take care of a lot of the day-to-day activities and make sure the farm is taken care of, whether that's watering or weeding or propagating new crops or planting, any of that kind of stuff. We're approaching spring. Since we've had such a mild winter, we were actually pretty deep into growing crops already. So in the greenhouses behind me here, we have a lot of lettuce and salad crops. So that's our big crop right now. We do a lot of leafy greens, and we're getting prepared for summer. We've got a lot of our baby tomato plants coming up, and we're propagating other summer crops. You can do a lot with just a small amount of land. We're only here on about a 1/4 acre, maybe a 1/2 acre at times, and we can produce a significant amount of food. And you can scale that to your own backyard. You know, you could have just a little garden plot, and you can produce a lot of produce in just a little 4x8 garden plot.
I would say the biggest challenge of starting and managing a small farm is understanding what it means to be a small business owner. Really doing your homework and assessing what it is that you're going to bring to market and where those markets are, and exactly what you need to do that is one of the most valuable things that a small farm can do before they ever buy land or before they ever cultivate the earth. So this is Little Rock Urban Farming. We have just under 1 acre, 3 buildings, 2 high tunnels. Here we have the laboratory. It's about 3,500 square feet of intensive vegetable production. We also have the fig orchard, and this time of year we use it as a nursery. We propagate all of our plants for our gardens. We also sell plants to the local market. And right now we just planted all the spring crops. We've got beautiful spinach, greens, all types of lettuces. And right now the weeds are also coming up, so we've got intensive weeding happening at the same time. So this is our shop. This is downstairs from where we live. This is a garage apartment located right in the heart of our farm. We have commercial kitchen equipment. This is where we process everything for market. We have different workstations that allow us to be efficient in processing and packaging. And it's a beautiful space. This is one of our favorite spaces in the whole farm. Right behind me on the river trail are 2 30 by 48 foot high tunnels. That is where we produce most of our greens and tomatoes for the local markets. We also have a small apiary. Right now we have 5 healthy hives. They help pollinate all of the different open pollinated varieties and really add a lot of value to our farm. We inherited a beautiful stand of Chinese bamboo that we currently manage, and one of the most efficient uses of this space for us was to cultivate shiitake mushrooms on hardwood logs. So we have oak logs. We like to use 4-foot logs that are anywhere between 4 inches in diameter and up to 10 inches in diameter. That gives them a good heartwood to sapwood ratio, which makes them excellent for cultivating mushrooms. This space has just enough light to get vitamin D to the mushrooms, but also preserves enough moisture and shade so that this crop can thrive. We are growing food very differently from the way that it's mostly grown here in our state. And we appreciate all forms of agriculture, but it was very important to me that we start discussing this other way to produce food, which is also has merit and is something that I think we're going to see more and more of over the coming years. So I wanted Little Rock Urban Farming to be a space that our community could easily access sustainable farming, organic farming, and see that we're just like any small farm in the state. We're trying to produce high quality food and take it to markets where it can nourish the people that consume it.
Joining us now is Terrell Spencer of Across the Creek Farm and Chris Hiriak of Little Rock Urban Farming. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us today.
Yes, sir.
Spencer, I want to start with you. First of all, I want to thank you for your service. And as you said in the interview we just saw, there was a lot that went on before the chicken farm, and I want to talk more about your farm in just a moment. But first, I want to talk about what seemed to be, from your comments there, a moment of clarity when you began to feel the calling to become a farmer. And your missus was talking about the day that you were out on patrol in Iraq and you watched that family working the land amidst all that turmoil and destruction.
Yes.
That had a profound effect on you, sounds like.
Yeah, and I didn't even really realize it at the time. You know, I was up in my gun turret on a machine gun and with my unit, and just we were stuck outside of a base because it had been locked down because of, I think, a rocket attack, mortar attack or something. So we were waiting outside and just watching my area and these farm family working. And some lady yelling at her kids for being knuckleheads, and regardless of the language, it seems to be a universal experience. Right. And I mean, just kind of left it at that. And then later, when I came back and I went to the University of Arkansas, I got a degree in soil science. I remember just sitting in class, soil science class, the Dr. Miller, and him going through like just the destruction of Iraq's soil and the Fertile Crescent because of the farming practices. Right. and just flashing back and remembered all that stuff, and I guess it was kind of like a seed was planted, sitting up in that turret. So
let's talk a little bit about your farm. There were those who said you couldn't create a chicken farm on the side of a mountain, yet you did it, and it's not just chickens, but you got goats and hogs as well. So pretty diverse operation. Yeah.
We bought some rough land up in a holler, and started off, and the chickens kind of evolved from there, and cleared land, and even getting started with a flock of 30 hens. It was more, I guess, therapy. I was diagnosed with PTSD after my tour in Iraq, and the VA, the answer was kind of just to give me a fistful of drugs, and I wasn't too keen on that. So clearing out oaks and hickory and setting up paddocks for the hogs to graze, the acorns and all that good stuff, that just kind of become therapy. And and folks were kind of right, because we did pretty quickly exhaust the amount of flat land for raising chickens. Right. So we had a land trust that heard about all the work with vets. I was part of the Farmer Veteran Coalition, training other vets to get into ag, and we had some folks step up with some flatter land near Fayetteville. So we run 2 farms now for all of our operations. But
okay. Tell me about some of the products that you provide from the farm, and it's all Arkansas produced.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah. So we, our broilers and meat birds are kind of our core operation. We raise them out on pasture, move them daily, all that good stuff. We sell feed to local farmers. We run a non-GMO feed made in Harrison. It's a company called Highland. It's tested for 91 pesticides, all that good stuff, but it's grown using grain contracted from Arkansas non-GMO grain farmers out in the Delta primarily. And we sell hogs, whole hogs, and split hogs to restaurants, and then just everything farmers market.
What do you hope lies ahead for Across the Creek Farm?
I'd like to get to a place where I can take Sunday off and just have 1 day a week off instead of working 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's kind of the easy attainable goal.
Okay.
Well, hopefully.
Sounds like you're going to make it.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah. I'm going to switch gears to talk about a different type of farming operation, but one that's still very much family in Little Rock Urban Farming. Chris, you knew pretty early on that this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I can't say that I always knew, but I think in my early 20s, I knew that I wanted to do something really meaningful. I wanted to engage in life. I wanted to feel alive, and farming for me was a holistic approach of doing something that was a way that I could engage the community but also have a meaningful existence. And so it's really provided me and my friends and family with a lot of opportunity to do good work and also produce high quality food. So.
Now, in reading your bio on the farm's website, you talk about your participation in LEADAR program and Dripping Springs Garden as 2 big influences on how you run your operation.
Absolutely. LEADAR, I can't say enough good things about LEADAR. That was, for me, one of the best experiences of my life. I traveled all over the state of Arkansas. I learned about industry, agriculture, economics, and really got to know Arkansas in a way that I hadn't before. I grew up fishing and hunting in this state, and so already had a profound respect for all of our natural resources, but LEADAR really demanded that I step up and sort of be a leader, and taught me how to engage the public and engage our elected officials. And so that was a great experience. So at the same time that I was in LEADAR, I was also doing the apprenticeship at Dripping Springs Garden. And so while immersing myself in organic agriculture, I was also getting those leadership skills through the Division of Agriculture and at the university. So yeah, both of those places had a profound impact on my work. Yeah.
We've got a couple of minutes left. I wanted to talk about, you not only live on the farm and tend the farm, but now you're looking to help people that want to pursue a similar career, and I'm talking about your apprenticeship program. So
yeah, that's something that we've been really proud of. We offer internships and apprenticeships. Apprenticeships are a little bit longer stay. They can live and work on the farm for up to 8 months. Interns usually stay for 2 to 3 months. Typically, those are college-age individuals, and they'll come and stay from May to August. But they do everything with us. They learn about the production model, they learn about the marketing, and they really get a hands-on experience. And we're very proud of it. Many of those individuals have gone on to graduate programs at ag schools throughout the nation. Some have started their own farms or gardens, and some do work in education related to agriculture. So I think it's meaningful. We're going to keep it going. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Got about a minute left. What do you hope is in the future for Little Rock urban farming?
From the very beginning, it was about engaging our community in an intelligent dialogue about agriculture and the interdependence of agriculture and public health. So I think for me, what I'd like to see is the continuing transformation of our food system and doing things like Spence is doing, and continuing to collaborate with other farms that are growing food in this way. So I'm excited.
And there's a good network there. You guys talk to each other and trade ideas. And well, we thank you both for being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
Enjoyed having you. And that's all the time we have for today. You can find past episodes of Agri Arkansas online at aetn.org/Agri Arkansas. And if you have story ideas, we'd love to hear them. Drop us an email at agri@aetn.org. We'll see you next time.
Major funding for this program provided by the Moving Image Trust Fund. Additional funding for this program provided by the Arkansas Agriculture Department.